Welcome to the Explainer. Today we are jumping into a really cool imagined world called Arreqqana. We're going to look at a very special job, the spirit-mind healer. It's this incredible mix of psychology, spirituality, and, well, just being a really good guide for people. So this metaphor, it's just perfect, right? A thread mechanic and a lighthouse keeper, what does that even mean? Well, a healer in Arreqqana doesn't look at someone and see a problem to be fixed. Nope. They see you as this intricate, beautiful tapestry of inner threads. And their job? It's to help you gently untangle the knots. You know, the stress, the trauma, all that stuff. But without ripping the fabric of who you are. They're a lighthouse, a guide, not a mechanic and a repair shop. And that whole idea, it's baked right into their central oath. I guide the healing, I do not command. Think about that. That one sentence is everything. It shapes every single thing they do, making sure that the person getting help is always the one in control of their own journey. It's like the ethical heartbeat of the entire profession. So powerful.
Okay, so the official name for this role is, and I'll try to get this right, Qhimi'Velarra Qhivvelaqhirra. It basically means a guide who studies the inner threads. So you're probably wondering, what does it actually take to become one? Let's break down the journey.
All right, so this isn't something you just decide to do on a weekend. The path to becoming a healer is, well, it's a marathon, not a sprint. We're talking a tough, multi-year process that's all about ethics, serious skill, and maybe most importantly, a whole lot of humility.
It all kicks off with getting their degree, which is called the Better Primka. Think of it like a 4-step climb. You start at Primka 1, which is all about the fundamentals. You know, ethics, safety, the really crucial stuff. Then you move up to Primka 2, where you get into the clinical theory. After that, Primka 3 is all about hands-on experience, doing supervised sessions in community clinics. And finally, you reach the top, Primka 4. That's where you do your big thesis, take the final oath, and pass the exam. And once they've done all that, they earn the Silver Seal of Qhimi. That's it. That's their official license to practice on their own. But it doesn't stop there. After that, they can choose to specialize by getting what's called a thread mark of care, which focuses on one of the 5 core threads of healing that we're about to get into. Okay, so let's get into the good stuff, the core tools, the real heart of their practice. This whole thread idea is about to make a lot more sense. So the big idea here is something called thread theory. It's this beautiful way of mapping out our inner lives. It basically says that our personality and how we handle stress can be sorted into 5 main energies, or threads. You've got flame for things like motivation and anger. And then you've got river, which is all about grief and how we connect with people. Each one covers a different part of what makes us, well, us. First up, you've got flame. This is your get up and go thread, all about action, drive, and that inner fire. Next is river. This is the emotional current, right? It's about how we feel, how we connect, how we empathize. Then there's stone. This is your bedrock. It's all about stability, having strong boundaries and feeling grounded, especially when things get tough. And we have wind. This is the thread of the mind. Think thoughts, worries, those loops we get stuck in, and what we choose to focus on. And finally, aether. This is the big picture stuff. Your purpose, your sense of meaning, that connection to something bigger than yourself. But here's the thing, it's not just about learning what the threads are. The training is super practical, all about skills you can actually use. They learn stuff like somatic listening, which is about tuning into what your body is telling you. Or narrative rethreading, how cool is that, which helps people rewrite their own life stories. And shadow integration, which is a way to safely work with the tough stuff, like fear or shame. Okay, so we've got the theory, but what does this look like in the real world? Let's imagine we're walking into our very first session with one of these healers. From the second you walk in, the entire first session is designed to do one thing, make you feel empowered, not scared. The whole point is to put the control right back in your hands immediately. So, how do they do that? Well, instead of bombarding you with questions, the healer offers you a choice. They call it the 3 doors of welcome. You can pick door number 1, the relief door, if you're just like, I need to feel better this week. Or you could pick the understanding door if you want to figure out why something keeps happening. Or there's the direction door for when you're ready to think about what's next. Just by making that choice, you set the agenda. You're in the driver's seat from minute 1. And that really gets to the heart of it. Look at the difference here. The whole goal is for you to leave with clarity, with options, with control, and with one tiny doable step. What the healer is actively avoiding is that whole vibe of being an expert who's there to fix you. No pressure, no quick labels, none of that.
And this partnership vibe continues the whole time. So after you pick your door, the healer just gets a gentle snapshot of your story. They don't need your whole life history. Then they'll describe the 5 threads and let you say which one sounds like what you're going through. Based on that, you work together to find one little skill you can try, and then you co-write a super simple 3-line plan. It's all done with you, not to you.
And maybe the most powerful idea in all of this is this one right here. Your symptoms are signals, not failures. Just let that sink in. The anxiety, the sadness, whatever it is, it's not a sign that you're broken. It's a signal. It's your inner life trying to tell you something needs attention. And when you think of it that way, healing stops being a battle against yourself and becomes an act of listening to yourself with kindness.
So you can see how this whole system is just a fundamentally different way of looking at mental and spiritual well-being, right? It's all about guidance, empowerment, and just deep, compassionate listening, which kind of leaves us with a big question to chew on. If our world had these thread healers, which thread do you think we'd need the most work on right now? Flame, river, stone, wind, or aether? Something to think about.